Good day, gamers. Fortain here, and welcome to episode 5 of Minecraft, the Betweenlands. Hello, everyone. I'm doing well, and I hope you're doing well as well. Today episode, we are going to be showing off a new storage area, or at the very least, the better sorted storage area. We are going to be heading out to attempt to find a rubber tree to get some buckets of rubber, to get rubber balls to make rubber boots. We're going to track down probably a few more pots to be able to get some more goodies from said pots. And then maybe go grab some different stuff with our shears, see if we can get a little closer to getting access to some new foods. To begin with, I went ahead and cleaned off all of my equipment before I started. Had made some signs previously. We have a fairly well sorted inventory system for right now. Got all of our different blocks and stuff right here, like dirt and stone, or dirt and mud. We have all the different stones, like the between stone, crag rock, and such in here. All of our wood-based stuff. We've got the very basic beginnings of all of our aspect stuff. Aspect stuff is going to be much farther down the line, but for right now I've got a chest just to kind of hold whatever we find along the way. We have our mob drops, the things that we can catch in nets, including little tiny sludge worms, some mire snails, things like that. We've got our ores and organics, so sulfur, ceramite, swamp reeds, and such. We have our armor, our ammo, tools, weapons, things like that. Speaking of, I want to go ahead and grab the arrows for while I'm heading out and about. We have our different foods. We've got plenty well sorted. We have all of our ready-to-eat stuff down at the bottom. Have all of our food ingredients at the top, as well as our fallen leaves to be smoking a lot of the stuff. And then just overstock things. These notes tend to be dropped pretty often from the different pots, so I'll be putting them in here. Anything else that I need to like find a way to either recycle or use better, things like that, will go into there. And then I've just got some quick delooting chests here, like, okay, I'm gonna run back to the base, toss a bunch of stuff in here, and then continue onwards. These extra tools here are just the ones that I've had for a bit. I went ahead and cleaned them off, just in case I'm going to do some digging today, which I may or may not, we'll see. For now, like I said, I'm going to be heading out to get a few more pots, locate a rubber tree, so I want to get some stuff going for that. I would like to, since we've been getting an okay amount of angler's teeth from doing the water filtering, I would like to go ahead and make some more arrows, just in case I end up fighting some lurkers. Because I definitely need the lurker skins to make armor. There we go. 61 arrows should be an okay enough amount for the moment. I'm not going to worry about making like the poisoned arrows or the octane arrows and stuff like that. Octane is still somewhat hard to come by, so I don't want to waste it on a bunch of arrows where, you know, it'll be nice to take, you know, put stuff on fire, but if it's in water, it's not going to do anything. Let's see. We will grab our ladders. I will also grab a bit of swamp dirt just as an extra building material for going out and about with. I know my inventory is pretty full. Nothing really I can do about that yet until I really start killing a bunch of the lurkers, and then start getting access to silk later on to make like the silk pouches, the lurker skin pouches. I do want to make some more buckets before I go. The main reason is because to get the sap, you have to attach the buckets to a sap or a rubber tree, not sap, excuse me, you have to get rubber. To get rubber, you have to attach the buckets to a rubber tree. Then you cook said buckets in our sulfur furnace, and you don't get those buckets back. They're obviously made of wood, so, you know, understandably you don't get them back. And I don't want to use up all the buckets that I've already made, so we'll go ahead and make some extras for now. Hello, lurker. You are not hostile right now. So I'm just going to move along. I can try and fight you, but I don't think I want to at the second. Hey, crap. There we go. I will leave the snails for the moment. My growing and replanting of swamp reeds is going quite excellently for now. Getting a lot... basically just kind of like every now and again I'll come out while I'm, you know, smoking materials or sieving... No, not sieving, excuse me. While I'm filtering water, I'll just come out and start replanting all the swamp reeds just to keep that going. Let's see. Do have to be a little careful because off in the distance, not here, but right here, that's a spawner. And I do not want to mess with the spawners just yet. There's definitely going to be some spawners that I want to... Yeah, right there. You see that little crystal right there? That's a spawner crystal. And while there's definitely some spawners that I'm going to want to keep active, depending on, you know, if they have some creature that is going to be very useful to have a slow but infinite supply of, for now, any of them are going to be probably too much for me to try and actually fight. That shallow breath is moving along, so we shall do the same. We do have... Falling into the water. We do have some pots here. We can go ahead and hopefully get something good from those. Let's grab them on our way over to... Or while we're looking around for... Hi. Yes, termite, you are very, very powerful. You're always a fright. It's not really a fright or anything. It's just that get booped off from our platform here, but that's okay. Okay, nothing up top. Let's go and get these pots here. Got a little bit of orange dendrothrist, which will be helpful later on. For now, meh. Ooh, definitely take some more lurker hide. That's helpful. The more lurker hide I get, the closer I can get to gaining access to the armor, which will be very helpful. It is definitely not, you know, super great armor. It's, I think, the equivalent of standard Minecraft leather armor, but it's better than nothing. And at the moment, I currently have nothing, so definitely better than just walking around with no armor. This, of course, being played on hardcore difficulty means, oh boy, I'm running away. That is a, that is very much a thing that I do not want to fight. That is a peat mummy. Okay, running. Hi. I want nothing to do with you, good sir. Please, and thank you. Those are rare spawns in these peat bogs, and I really don't want to have anything to do with them. They're not like super hard to fight, but as you can see, they kind of move very fast, just all of a sudden. And I don't want to be like trying to outrange it and then all of a sudden have it rush me. But okay, then we have a bit of an interesting conundrum here. We've got ourselves a tree right here, the kind of tree we're looking for. We do have a bunch of pots, so we'll go ahead and grab these pots. But there's also a crag rock tower here. Very interesting. Very much, I'll take that. Very much not going to be able to take on a Cragrock Tower just yet. I do not have the armor and or other equipment to do such things. But it is interesting that it is here. What is... it's interesting that it's here because I will need to go over there at some point to fight the stuff that's in there. Okay. Just keeping an eye out, making sure that Pete Mummy did not head over here towards me. I will need to do it at one point. There's an achievement or an advancement for completing a Cragrock Tower, and I definitely do need the materials that are in it. But for right now, it is well outside of my ability to do such things. I will probably mark it on journey maps in a bit. Just, oh, nice. Very nice. Yep. Okay. Ow. Ooh, got some Samurai nuggets. Very nice. That's appreciated. Make sure we got everything from those pots. Good. Inventory is... There it is. That's what I was looking for. I knew I saw that other piece of lurker hide fall, so grab that. Let's go ahead and get back our swamp dirt here. There we go. Got all that. Perfect. How much inventory space do we have? Not a whole lot. Can I combine these? I cannot yet. That's fine. Okay. Moving along. Let's be very careful about this. There shouldn't be too much around that is going to attack me here. Unless I find like some anglers or something. But we definitely have a rubber tree. And like I said, we have a Cragrock Tower here. So the rubber tree, what you do is you take your weedwood buckets and you attach them like so to the rubber tree. And what'll happen is over time, the sap will kind of pour into the buckets, the rubber. And then once it's full, you break the bucket, you get weedwood buckets full of rubber. And it's now starting to rain in the game. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. Lurker right there. The buckets fill up with sap, with the rubber. You go back to your base. Hi, are you going to attack me? No, that's fine. You go back to your base, you cook them in the furnace, you get the rubber balls, and you can use that rubber for a few things. You can make fish floaters, you can make rubber boots so you don't sink in the mud, you can use them as toppers for the dentifrice bottles. I very much don't have the inventory space to pick up said buckets because they don't stack. So let's go ahead. I'm going to make a marker real quick at this point. Oh, there's some fallen leaves too. Awesome. I don't have the inventory space to be able to accurately get that stuff. So we're just going to make a new marker. Rubber tree. Just to remind myself where those buckets are. But yes, let's head back to starter base. Empty out our inventory. Should I... Yeah, you know what? Might as well go ahead and grab these fallen leaves. I'm running ever so slightly low. I don't want the swamp plants, thank you. I am running ever so slightly low on the fallen leaves because I've been gathering a bunch of food up off camera and have been smoking it to get the better quality foods from it. So it is good that I am able to kind of restock with all these fallen leaves under this tree here. Don't need anything else that I can collect with the shears at the moment. But again, those fallen leaves are very helpful. Okay. Back we go. A bunch of snail bits here, which tells me... Hi. Oh, hello. Yep, nope. So, that guy right there, he apparently has been chewing on a bunch of snails. Come on. Apparently the stones do not go through the bushes. Interesting. Okay. Woof. Let's see. Can I combine these two? I can. Good. I can't pick up the snail bits. I got a shambler tongue. Oh, that's fine. Okay. If I can, I'll come back and get the rest of the snail bits. Because I don't have anything else that I can kind of just get rid of for the moment. So, okay. Back to starter base to empty the inventory. And then we'll head back to get our buckets. But yeah, that tongue creature hurts very badly. He will kind of pull you in and can kill quite quickly if you're not careful. They do... Oh, there's another one. Running away. They can do a fair amount of damage pretty fast. So I do not want to fight him. Go ahead and eat a couple sap balls. Just to clear the decay. And we'll move along. And of course, as it always does, it's getting nighttime. It's raining, and it's nighttime. It means it's hard to see. Oh well. Hi, lizard. Little gecko there. I don't have any reason to collect the geckos right now. I'm not making the... Well, I already have a gecko cage, but I can't do any of the... I can't do any of the testing yet with the geckos. So, moving on. Back to starter base. There are a bunch of crabs over there. We'll fight said crabs, possibly later. One's following me right now. Yep. Yep. He's trying to do me a pinch. But he cannot come inside. Alright. Drop off the foods. Shambler tongue will go into mob drops for right now. We'll also put the fallen leaves into foods. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. We go ahead and put away the octane arrows. We have note from a fallen shadow, which we already have another one of, so that can go away. I'm just not using the boat. Let me just put the boat away. I'd rather have the extra inventory space for now. Okay. Everything else is good for the moment. We've got the arrows. All right. Eat a donut. How's the donuts doing? Let's swap to smoked snail flesh. Eat a ball of sap. Just to clear that. And back out we go. Okay. Oh, you're a lurker. You are a lurker. You are not a crab. I am not going to attempt to fight you. There's the crab. Hi. Thank you. I will take the crab claws, though. What's squishy? Oh, worm. What'd worm come from? Interesting. So these worms... Nice. Is there... Oh, okay, yeah, it's right here. Okay, gotcha. So that is a little spawner. Oh, geez, hi there. When suddenly enemies behind me. There's enemies all around. Oh, I know. You're gonna be a pain in the butts. Yep. Alright, let me clear the white. So those are little sludge worm spawners that happen to come up when these rain events happen. They're not too bad so long as you're careful around them, but they can spawn some very large worms that are, you know, not too hard to deal with, but they do a lot of damage very fast. Hi. Hello, Chiramaw. Yes. Yes, you're very dangerous. Thank you. But the main good thing that you can get from those sludge worm spawners are these tiny sludge worms that you can then grind up as fish bait to attract the Anadia fish to ya. Oh, it's one of the lickitongues. Run! Nope. No, thank you. Don't want any. Want to keep moving. I'm very much still at the I am very vulnerable phase of playing through the mod pack, where a lot of stuff can kill me, unfortunately, very fast. So I do have to be very hesitant as to what I'm fighting, you know. Live to fight another day kind of stuff. Okay. Continuing on, heading back to our rubber tree. We had those buckets around. There's the Crag Rock Tower there. Make it easier to see. Hi, Chiramaw. With a rider. Thankfully enough, they haven't attacked me yet, but I don't want to risk it. Ah, good. I will take the snail shells. Please and thank you. Those will be useful later on. For now, not so much, but they will be later on. Okay, perfect. So we got to our rubber tree here. Inventory is going to be very full once I collect these. But, as you can see, these weedwood buckets are all pretty full. That should be enough. Oh, nope, apparently not. Apparently they're not full. That one is. Okay. Darn. So that one has to start over. Crud. Oh, well. That one is still pouring. Yeah, so that one's going to take time to fill up still. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, as you can see, these are not stacking, so that's okay. We shall wait a little bit. Again, do not want to head out to... these are a bunch of nettles. Do not have what I need yet to be able to do anything with the nettles, regretfully. I will later on, but unfortunately don't have access yet. There really isn't anything else that I need to collect at the moment. Let me go ahead and grab these nettles for now. Just so it'll keep me from getting stabbed by the... Hi? Oh, I think I got too close to the nettle. Okay. Hi, frog. Alrighty, let me check the buckets here. That bucket is good. That bucket is good. Okay. And we will just have to come back for the other two. That's okay. Not a biggie. Apologies for the bit of back and forth right now. Stuff is kind of far away from the base, so I have to travel a ways to get access to it. Once I start making the full-on center base, I'll be able to have a lot of this stuff be much closer to the base itself, so I won't have to travel anywhere near as much to, you know, get rubber trees, get weedwood trees, or nibble twigs, or what have you. For right now, I do still have to travel a ways. And the boat is somewhat useful, but because it drives so... It drives like a paddle boat drives. You have to, you know, paddle with both oars. Makes sense. It's a rowboat, but at the same time, it just doesn't move like a standard Minecraft boat. So it unfortunately takes a lot of getting used to, and especially with how uneven the terrain is here, where you have like such patchy islands, and then you've got this strip of water going along here. It's the eternal question of, do I hop in the boat to, you know, boat a little ways over, then hop out of the boat to run across the islands, versus do I just kind of like swim across, which is slower, but I don't have to keep getting in and out of boats. We've got some anglers here. Let's go ahead, go across this way. But in a moment, we will get access to the rubber. Again, not a lot we can do with it at the moment, but it is still good to have for later on. Hello, lurker. With the amount of lurker skin I have, I may, keyword may, be able to make a full suit of armor. Let's check when we get back. Alright, that is a lurker there. Let's hop inside, have a bite of food. Let's have some smoked frog leg. And a couple balls of sap just to clear. Perfect. Okay. We toss the weedwood buckets full of rubber into the sulfur furnace. Let's go ahead and put away the food. More tiny sludge worms. These shambler tongues are used to make a grappling hook, which is kind of neat. We can also make a robust amphibious fishing spear. The fishing spear itself is an angler tooth and 2 weedwood sticks, so I might look into making that. We can combine it with anodina fins to make the amphibious fishing spear, and then an urchin spike to make a robust. So we'll look into that. Let's see. But yep, here's our first balls of rubber. Very nice. Put away the chirmol wings. Cook these up next. So yeah, taking a look at the balls of rubber balls, we can make the rubber boots. Again, that's to make sure you don't sink in the mud. You can make the fishing float and hook, which is part of making the fishing rod. You can make the Drayton balloon, which will be a very end game thing. Our last goal of this mod pack is to make the Drayton balloon to fly out of the Betweenlands, and then use it as the stopper for the different Dentrothrist vials. So it is good to have, not specifically needed for the moment, but still good to have. All right, we've got some rubber. Again, let's check how much. I think we are very close. I want to say it takes 27. Oops. Nope. Cool. We now have a full set of lurker skin armor. Again, it's the equivalent of leather, so it's not super great, but it is better than having no armor at all. It'll help soften the blow a tiny bit. So hopefully I'll be able to like withstand one extra hit when it comes to, you know, fighting the unexpected, an unexpected wight or bog witch or something like that. And it looks like it also gives me a buff when I'm in the water, which will be helpful. Let's head back to the rubber tree and collect our other couple buckets. What do we got? These are some crabs. That's fine. Try and attack the crabs. There we go. Thank you. I will happily take the crab claws. Oh, I can actually... Ooh, nice. Oh, okay. So you have water breathing when you're in the water. That's awesome. And it looks like it also speeds you up a bit while you're in the water. Cool. That is quite helpful. I don't want to stay in the water too much because it does increase my... It does increase the corruption on, or the corrosion on my tools, as well as increases my decay bar. But it is, yeah, that's actually not a bad way to just kind of cross the water real quick, is just by like running across. Nice. Okay. Good to know. I will keep that in mind. Hello, large frog. I do not want to mess with you if I can, so I'm just going to pass the big frog along. Oh. Hi. Hello. Okay. There we go. No angler tooth, unfortunately. That is poison ivy. Oh, that's a shallow breath. Oof. What else is nearby? Okay, that must have been the shallow breath. Gotcha. I saw another red dot, and I wasn't sure if that was another enemy here. Okay. Cool. Good, 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 good. Switch over to the donuts. Back we go. So yeah, it looks like when you're fully submerged, you go a little faster. Very helpful. And you also have water breathing. Also helpful. We got more of these Lickitung guys. Let's switch to the arrows. Who's behind me? Oh, yep. Hi, you're gonna be a pain, aren't you? Good, got him. I was able to use some jump slashes for crits. Very good. Okay. Back to attacking these guys. There are 2 of them. My bow is somewhat corroded, so I'm going to do a little less damage, but it is more damage than the... There we go. It is more damage than the sling. Collect the extra drops. Drops are almost always appreciated. Ooh, hello, little resource cave here. And by resource cave, I just simply mean the fact that I see a bit of hi. The sulfur ore down there. Oh, there's some more rubber trees right there. Nice. Okay. Good to know. Keeping an eye out for enemies. We shall continue onwards. Back to our rubber tree that we've got the last 2 buckets at. Go ahead and collect those buckets. And continue on. See if we can perhaps find some more pots that'll give us some goodies. Hello, frog. Goodbye, frog. I appreciate your frog legs. Alright. That one is still filling. That's a lurker right there. But that one is filled. So, grab that. Perfect. And we'll explore around a little bit. Okay. Since we can, for the moment, let's go ahead and collect... I don't need the swamp tall grass. I'm just collecting these weedwood bushes because eventually I would like to try and get access to silk. And part of the method for getting silk is to be able to infest these weedwood bushes essentially with moths. Now, if you remember back in Stoneblock, there was a very similar mechanic with using the crook on the leaf blocks from, I want to say, Ex Nihilo. You would crook the leaf blocks to get the silkworms. You would use the silkworms on the leaf blocks of different trees. They would become infested leaf blocks, and then eventually you would be able to get string from those leaf blocks. Volar pads. Ah, yes, you can make the volar kites out of these. The volar kite is basically a neat little thing that you can use to kind of not exactly fly, but just kind of like hover your way through an area. If you start up pretty high, you can just zoom, kind of like a hang glider, and glide your way around. But yes, so the main way that you get access to the silk is you have to go fight a creature called an infestation, which we're not ready for just yet. You get the pheromone gland. Ah, good, that bucket is done. You get the pheromone gland from the infestation. You use that on the bushes, and you wait for a time for the bush to become infested. The best way to then get the most materials from said bush is to use your shears to essentially shear out the silk cocoons from the bush. We're going to go ahead and grab these pots here while we can, since we have a bit more inventory space now. But yes, that is going to be your method of getting access to silk. Again, not quite... Oops, didn't mean to place that there. That's fine. Not quite prepared yet to be able to fight the infestations. They do a fair amount of damage, and they also poison you, so you have to be very careful with that. But eventually, that is going to be my goal, is to start digging downwards into whatever cave systems that I can find down below. And then from there, hopefully... Oh, I got a poisoned angler-tooth arrow. Very nice. Hopefully be able to then fight some infestations. I'm also very much in need of the different ores that I'll be able to find underground. My inventory is very full. Oh, actually, so full that I cannot do what I was about to do. That's fine. Gotta make sure I have a free hand to be able to grab these pebbles. Thankfully enough, that peat mummy has not shown back up. It's one of the things of, could I fight it? Yes. Could I potentially win? Possibly. But there's also a very good chance that I could just take a bunch of impact damage very fast and then just die. And I really don't want to chance that. Especially playing on hardcore mode, where death means the world goes bye-bye. Alright. Let's head back to base. Running underwater is... Honestly, it's pretty good for making a bit of progress here. Yeah, we'll drop off the stuff we've got. And just kind of continue exploring around. I do have some frog legs. I do have a poison gland. Okay. Hi, frog. Thank you. I hope the big frog didn't just see me do that. I also hope the big frog doesn't care that I just did that. I don't know. I know you can tame them as a mount, and I've done that in the past. Long time ago back in SevTech. But it's been a while, so I don't remember, like, what they fully interact with. But in any event, we are back at starter base. That's just a lurker. That's fine. We'll go ahead and cook up these last 2 buckets. We'll drop off our food. Got our ores and organics. I'll put these right here for the moment. We definitely have our mob drops. Let's see, Shambler tongue, which will go there. Boop, boop. And we have our poisoned arrows. Let's see, Explorer's Entries, Marsh Ruins. Okay, that's going to be an extra. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. It's basically just lore things. Let's take a look at those just because we can. Alright, note from a fallen shadow. Have a couple balls of sap real quick. This is the first day I've managed to find time to write ever since evil was released upon the land. Just before, I was a scholar dedicated to the preservation of knowledge. Then the Nether destroyed everything I stood for. Interesting, except for my memory. For some reason, although I have transformed into this hideous shape as my fellow people have, I am different. The evil energies remain dormant in me, turning me dark as a shadow, and they have preserved my memory. For those that may read this one day, remember me as White of Shadows. Interesting. Well, it does say note from a fallen shadow. We're gonna go ahead and put these bone wayfinders away. I don't really plan on using them. And then we have Explorer's Entries, Marsh Ruins. Ancient history lies everywhere. The empire that once resided here is no more, but I have found remnants of their existence to dot the landscape, both above and underground. Of their riches, I have found some pots with a few relics, but nothing particularly valuable. Danger is unceasing, nevertheless. There are people that look like ghosts that stalk me, only they are definitely physical beings. I'm always threatened by the decaying aura of the realm, which is slowly eating me alive. Fortunate that I found some sap in one of those pots, which seems to make me feel better. Very cool. AKA the balls of sap. So, again, just little lore documents that you can read as you progress through the mod pack, or the mod itself. There are a bunch to find, and I'll be collecting every one that I can. Let's put the Explorer's Entry right there. Okay, pretty nice. Taking a look around. What else do we have? We don't have much slimy bone, so I can't really make any equipment from it. That's that. Still got some time. Let's take a look at our map here. There's starter base. Let's head in this direction for a bit, see what we can find. I'm well aware of the fact that with the, I do need to fight the White Fortress. Or that Cragrock Tower, I should say. I do need to fight that eventually. I would like to try and have at least the next tier of armor and tools before I do such things. Just because, again, this is the equivalent... The Lurker armor is the equivalent of leather armor. So it's better than nothing, but not great. I don't have enough... Hi, crab. Ow. He gave me a pinch. I don't have enough ceramite or octine, anywhere close to enough, to be able to make, a full suit of armor of that. So I want to save that for whatever... I want to save that for specific uses beyond just simply making armor. Hi, crab. You're going to be a butt, aren't you? Yep. Here are these swamp reeds, so I can actually... Hi, crab. There we go. Let's swap to my frog legs. Have another frog leg. And let's go see what we can find. More crab. I do want to make the crab pot at some point. Oh, jeez. I was not expecting the sudden transition to the faster swim speed, so I got too close to the crab. Yeah, you go super fast underwater with the Lurker armor. That's pretty helpful. If I happen to go out to the kind of open water area, I might keep the Lurker armor with me just to move around faster. But then again, I might just use the boat while I'm out there for better practice. There's a lot of crabs that way. Let's see what we have in this direction. I'll definitely take some more of the little pebbles. That is appreciated. What's moving over here? Ah, that's another lurker. You know what? Sure. My bow is getting corroded, but I definitely want to try and get some more lurker hide. There we go. All right. Lurker hide acquired. Have a snack to celebrate. Two pieces of lurker skin. Not bad. Dive under the water to move a little faster. See what else we find. I know I very much could be collecting a lot of the plants that I'm finding while I'm out and about, like these white plants, the red plants and such. I'm trying to, as much as I can, I'm trying to save my shears until I find something that I really need, or at the very least find something that is super rare. Because I don't have enough ceramite to make another set of shears. So it's like, let's see. Where are you? There you are. Oof. Very good. Okay. Yeah, so like that red plant over there is definitely something I want to grab at some point. These pink plants are definitely something that I want to grab at some point. Just not quite yet, because I don't want to use up the durability as much on my shears. He says that's interesting. He says as he uses it to grab just like random, you know, random things. Please and thank you for all these pebbles. More ammunition is greatly appreciated. Can I get these? I don't think I can yet. That is a floating island. That's a couple floating islands. Hello, leech. There we go. Goodbye, leech. I don't know. Hello, lurker. You aggroed on me or no? No, you're just wandering around. That is a very large Chiramaw that I can see way up there. I do not want to attempt to fight that. So I was originally thinking, hey, maybe I'll go take a look and see what's, you know, on top of that giant island. I think I'm going to pass on that until I have, you know, some better armor and stuff. But it is good to know that these floating islands are here, because that is actually one of the advancements, is to check out the top of a floating island. Okay. Some more swamp reeds here. Heading away. Let's take a look and see what we find. Let me go ahead. We got a second here. My bow is getting very corroded from all this running in the water, which again is not surprising that my tools are getting more corroded, because every second that you spend in the water, you have... Oh, hello. Swamp hag. Every second that you spend in the water has a higher chance of corroding your tools. I will happily take those slimy bones. And we got another swamp hag. Okay, more slimy bones. Nice. I need to head back to base and make some more sword, because mine is just about broken, and I most definitely do not want to break any tools. As we have stated previously, that was one of our primary goals of the series, is to never break a tool. That's one of the Lickitung guys, so let's dodge them. Run our way across the water here. Oh, hello, thank you. I'm assuming there was a lurker munching on the dragonflies somewhere around. I will happily take whatever they don't want. That's the underwater ruins right there. Running, running, running along the water. Ah. Home sweet starter base. Have a few balls of sap just to restore our decay. Have a... Nope. Don't need to eat. That's good. Mob drops. Getting very good here. Organics are doing well. Plenty of food. Let's go ahead and make a new sword. Actually, we'll make two swords, just so we got some to combine together. There we go. Much better. We can make a fishing spear. I only have one angler tooth left, but you know what? I would like to make the fishing spear just to take a look at it. So, fishing spear. Yeah, basically does that. Not surprising. Do you throw it? I'm assuming you probably throw it. Yep. Cool. And my guess is going to be that every time you throw it, it takes some durability damage. Hello. Oh, it like does no damage. Yeah, it does no damage for an actual attack. Okay. Swapping to sword, there. Yeah, that's much better. Well, it is a fishing spear, so I can imagine that's not going to do a lot of damage to just like, hitting things regularly. But, it is also a spear, so it's meh. We've got a couple lurkers here. Nope, a lurker and a Lickitung guy. can I kill... Hi. Okay. The lurker did not seem to care that I killed him. Good. Okay. Good to know. Glad that killing one does not aggro the other, which I didn't think it would, but it's also good to know. There's the little spooky spirits that kind of show up every now and again. Yeah, we can go ahead. Pillar ourselves up a bit. We've got fair amount. Not a lot. Not a lot of arrows, but a fair amount of arrows. There we go. Okay, no one else is aggroed on me right now. Good, good. Collect the arrow that I missed. And collect our lurker hide. I got 3 from that. Very nice. All right. Made a little bit of progress today. Not a whole lot, but we did get a few new things. We've gotten some rubber, which is good. We've gotten a full suit of armor, which will be very helpful. Again, slowly but surely kind of upgrading our kit. I think I will go ahead and call it good for now. There was a couple other things that I was thinking about doing, but I think I'd like to go ahead and kind of end it while the getting's good. I'm going to sneeze here, so pardon me just a second. Pardon me. Managed to stop the sneeze just in time and mute myself. But yeah, so I think what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to spend some time chopping down some more weedwood trees. Because I would like to probably next episode start digging down to try and find some infestations. So I can start making stuff out of silk, specifically the lurker skin pouches, which will allow me to not have to run back home as often to deloot. That'll be very helpful. But yeah, we'll take down some weedwood trees, get some more weedwood for ladders, as well as crafting the ladder well itself. And yeah, just continue on. But until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have a good day and good game.